Political suicide. Grassroots Tories are furious at Rishi Sunak after sacking Suella Braverman, revealed in leaked WhatsApp messages. We're going to look into this exclusive from Sky News, guys. Let's go. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. This is REGANELITE here with an exclusive from Sky News with the headline that political suicide. Grassroots Tories are fury at Rishi Sunak after sacking Suella Braverman's, revealed in leaked WhatsApps. Members of the Conservative Democratic organisation, which contains both members and non-members of the Tories, have reacted badly to the reshuffle. Now, we talked about this on the live stream on Monday, and if you haven't checked it out, please do. We talked about the cabinet reshuffle. We knew that there was going to be a lot of anger, a lot of frustration on the decision to sack Suella Braverman within the Conservative Party, but at the same time, it was kind of like, well, what did you expect? I mean, like, it was coming. Like, especially her rhetoric was just out of order. And I said it on the live stream, and I'm going to say it here. It was coming. It was really coming. And I just can't believe, like, how... I'm really looking forward to seeing these leaked WhatsApp messages, just to see, like, how much anger there really is within the Conservative Party. Because it really just goes to show just how divided the Conservative Party really is. You know, in a time when we have so many issues taking place in the country, and yet all we're talking about... rather than the government dealing with the main issues of the day, they're talking about novice problems and trying to appease certain sections of the party when they should be looking after the needs of the British public, which they have consistently failed to do so for 13 goddamn years. So let's read into it. Sacking Suella Braverman means suicide for the Tory party, and Rishi Sunak has just thrown the election away, according to leaked WhatsApp messages between members of a grassroots Conservative organisation linked to Sky News. Members of the Conservative Democratic Organisation CDO, a momentum-style group created out of frustration at the ousting of Boris Johnson and Liz Truss, and backed by Priti Patel, called on Tory MPs to submit letters of no confidence in Rishi Sunak after Monday's reshuffle. There was only one public one, and that was Andrea Jenkins. So perhaps at the time of this recording, there may be more coming, possibly. Conversations between CEO members on Monday revealed they believe Sunak has committed political suicide, and that the cabinet is pretty much the exact opposite of what we voted for in 2019. While another asks, is it April Fool's Day? We didn't vote for the cabinet we had before this cabinet reshuffle. Never mind the cabinet that we have now. It's really important to make that emphasis. They talk like it's something that people voted for. We voted for some, you know, they've rolled back on many manifesto pledges, you know, back in 2019. And they talk as if, yeah, they're still speaking for the British public. It's just absolute absurdity. The CDO, whose president is Lord Peter Cruttis, sounds like a crumpet, sounds like a food, sounds like some kind of food. Aims to change the rules of the Tory party and give membership to a bigger vote in its running. Sky News has seen messages from regional WhatsApp groups where CEO members give their views on the reshuffle. Many, but not all, are Conservative members, and almost none are naturally recognisable figures, so are not being named by Sky News. So they're not going to give the names away. Well, at least give us some of the phrasing. These views are not represented, therefore of the whole Tory party membership, but representative of a slice of Conservative thinking inside and outside the party, with chimes of some Tory MPs on the right who believe the reshuffle will bolster Reform UK, the right-wing party created from the Brexit party. Yeah, that's what I definitely think will happen. I definitely feel that this cabinet reshuffle was definitely going to, in my opinion, as of right now, strengthen the Reform Party. Now that could change between now and the general election, obviously. And like I said, yeah, the gap will close in terms of polling over time. But definitely, yeah, from the right-wing perspective, there will definitely be more. It may cause more voters to vote for the Reform Party rather than the Conservatives. But we still don't know if they're going to challenge Conservatives at the general election. That still remains to be seen. In the South East, a CDO group, one contributor calls the appointment of David Cameron a very weak decision. Another calls it the undoing of the party. And a third says FFS. You can guess what FFS means. One says the only good news would be if Kemi Badenoch, the business secretary, replaces Chancellor Jeremy Hunt, but I can't see it. No! What a silly idea. Mind you, though, would she be any better? I don't think so. Some in relation to Cameron refer to conspiracy theories about an elite in Davos controlling the world. His biggest regret was Brexit, even though he was always a Eurosceptic. Why? Because he robbed him of a post-PM pounds on the Davos circuit. He's back to redeeming himself under Davos darling Dusjak, Nutsack, and an occasional nickname for Sunak in his group. I've not been this angry since Boris was forced out, says one. In the same group, they responded to the sacking of Miss Braverman as the Home Secretary with dismay. I call on Conservative MPs to submit their letters of vote of no confidence to the 1922 committee. Rishi Sunak and his out-of-touch squad must be ousted from number 10, said one. Later that day, Tory MP Andrew Jenkins did submit such a letter. Is Suella a member of the CDO? Asked one. How can we help her and thereby help ourselves and our country? I'm really unhappy about this. Let's push for letters to go in. As they said in here, it's not all Conservative MPs. It's only one section of a party and some non-members, obviously, as well. Richard Holden's appointment as party chairman is also the source of dismay because he is seen as close to Mr. Sunak. Apparently, he's the ex-CCHQ staffer, otherwise known as the full commitment to the luxuries taking over the asylum, one said. Alright, so this is the full exchange below. This is the CEO in the South East. And they're going by activists 1, 2 and 3 because they're not giving their names away. 8:39, activist 1 says reshuffle starting now. Number 1 says Suella has been sacked, the end of the Conservative Party. 8:40. Same time at 8:40, Harry Cole was reported that it was expected because of the vague agenda for today. Also says 2 minutes later, let's hope it's beginning the end of Sunak. He's now jumping the bark of Labour, says activist 2. Number 3 says, if Suella has been sacked, then he should go. Is Suella a member of the CEO? How can we help her and thereby help ourselves and our country? I am really unhappy about this. Number 2 says at 8:46, now it's time for the backbenchers to put up. Number 3 says at 8:46, let's push for the letters to go in. Activist 4 saying he's demonstrating he's a follower, not a leader. And number 2 says at 8:47, he's so weak, even he wanted to sack her. He shouldn't indulge in the left. Number 3, 8:47 says, an unelected one at that, disgraceful. 8:47, activist 5 says Suella has been sacked. It's on the news websites now. Activist 6 at 8:50 says, I'm calling Conservative MPs to submit their letters of vote of no confidence to the 1922. Rishi Sunak and his out-of-touch squad must be ousted from number 10. To those few still members, please write to your associations. Hashtag ready for Rishi to go. Activist 7 at 8:58 said, Sunak and his party is sunk. They've backed the wrong horse. 8:59, activist 2 says, cleverly as the Home Secretary. 9 o'clock, activist 8 says, not sure what he's thinking, but can do more damage to him on the back benches. Thanks for that. Was about to write to cleverly about a matter abroad. This is CDO Southwest. 8:41, activist 1. So we had them. So that was the Southeast group. This is the Southwest group for the CDO group. Suella has been sacked. What an idiot. Active Sunak got to go. While on the bright side, Suella is free now to replace him when the time comes. Activist 5 said, it's nothing like the party I joined in the 1970s when we had a clear version and direction. My MPs don't share many of my conservative principles, sadly, like many of his colleagues. I think this triggers the letters to go in, says activist 6. Tell your MPs! Just send Just sent an email to my MP. Yes, great. Pile it on, everyone. Activist 2. There's no plausible MPs left for Sunak and his squad to call upon. What an utter clown show. What now? Activist 6. Now letters must go into Sunak replaced urgently. We could have a leadership election in 3 weeks, including limited hustlings and members' votes. Do you think there's enough MPs with enough backbone to do it, though? What do you guys think? Do you think they're going to be able to do something like that in 3 weeks' time? Comments down below. CDO in London. Ooh, this is the London squad, okay. Activist 708, activist 1, the current Tory government. Rishi Sunak stabbed the one person who gave him a top job, rejected by us, done nothing in the year he has been the cuckoo Prime Minister, rejected by people according to the polls. Hunt rejected by us 4 times and disliked by the people according to the polls. Cameron, I don't like the results of a democracy, so run away and let down his constituency by resigning. Got caught being a naughty man. Did I miss anything? Weird face emoji. 842, activist 2. He sacked Suella. He's on a suicide mission for the party. 843, another person says Sunak has committed political suicide. That being said, I'm sure this is a positive step towards a Braverman leadership. Activist 4 says time for the letters to go in. Let's see what this mess is made of a reshuffle too. The activist, I'm furious. Another one says he is no politician. He doesn't understand that. The Tory faithful are pretty much the only still faithful because of Suella. Says later on, I'm a party member. I've always voted Tory. I'm active in the local association and I'm really struggling with the idea of voting them at the next general election. Sorry, but they need a kicking. Activist 3 said, I would be furious if I wasn't rather excited to watch Sunak unravelling any potential leadership bid by Suella. Potential, he says. Brackets. Rishi has signed the political death warrant and Suella will be back on the situation. It's bittersweet. Another person says, this is just awful. Sunak is not even a Tory. Get him out now in caps locks. I'm so angry I can't focus on work, says another activist. Remember, these aren't all MPs. Some of them could be members, non-members, so it's important to stress that, guys. I feel the same. I'm furious. Just watch the idiots on GB News saying Suella was out of control. She was the first minister in years. I actually felt she was a real conservative with genuine conservative values. I hope she runs for leadership and kicks Suella into touch. This cabinet is pretty much the exact opposite of what we voted for in 2019. Activist 7, if she does and gets voted overwhelmingly by the membership, the snakes will oust her, ignore us all and install another puppet. Another person says, it's 10:45. Yes, at 10:45. What's the delay in those letters to Sir Graham? There's not a postal strike, is there? If you can't laugh, you might as well laugh about it, guys. Exactly, we are unfortunately accustomed to. Activist 10, I see the One Nation Tories are full of glee today. Activist 11, there won't be after next year's general election results. Activist 11 says, although saying that, they might actually be gleeful, since they seem so hell-bent on causing so much reputational damage to the party as possible. This is from the CDOs of Yorkshire and Humber. I can't believe it. Suella sacked and Cameron in as Foreign Secretary. Is it April Fool's Day? Incredible. He just threw the election away. I bet Starmer sent him a crate of champagne to thank him. We need to get off our bums and write in and voice our anger. I wonder what made him sack her. Dr. Number or another member of the cabinet really running the country. Looks like it's time to quit the party for me. Stay as a member. You will have more influence in the future. It's not our party anymore. It hasn't been for a while. Exactly. True. Another person says, I'm not quitting. I want the satisfaction of being involved in rebuilding one of those people that have moved on. Unfortunately, unless the backbenchers grow up here, we're going to have to go at a few years of socialism in order to move them on. Another person said, a few years? We'll never get into power again. Votes will be open up to 16-year-olds, non-British nationals too. Then we'll have another referendum and be back under the globalist boot. Democracy will be dead, and this party is a blatant corrupt party with its blatant corruption enabling it. Ah, so he's just admitted there is corruption there. Confirmed. Activist 8. I've heard they're going to change the membership vote for Prime Minister, just in case we have the audacity of not choosing the right person. It breaks my heart to say this, but the Conservative Party that I've supported for years is well and truly finished. I vote for the shower as a wasted vote. Another person says, will Cameron become the leader? Hague orchestrated Cameron. It's to stop Boris or Farage coming back. We need to split. Right-wing members of 2 groups meeting this afternoon. Let's see these letters, but I think we need a breakaway. Interesting. Yeah, a lot of anger. A lot of anger, a lot of frustration there, isn't there? But we don't know the names. That's the thing. That's the downside. And I've got the hiccups now all of a sudden. But like I said in there, obviously, some are Conservative MPs and some are not. So some are members, some are not members. So we don't honestly know who's saying what. But definitely sounds like a lot of kicking and screaming. And like I said about like I said about the Conservative Party, Rishi Sunak had to make a bold decision because, you know, either way, he knows he's fighting a losing battle anyway. So he's better off throwing the gauntlet and just kicking those out that he needs to. If I'm absolutely honest, apparently, so she's at the time of this recording, Suella Braverman is waiting to unleash her letter of destruction on Rishi Sunak, which will no doubt have a ground-shaking boot. But I think I think a part of me thinks that she's also waiting because she wants the ground to settle on the appointment of David Cameron so that she can have her moment in the spotlight, because she wants the spotlight put on her, because if she's going to make it challenging for the leadership bit, she needs to stay in the spotlight. And the one thing she doesn't want is to be taken out of the spotlight. The other option, obviously, Sunak, I don't know why he's not considered, I don't know why he hasn't considered taking the whip from her. I think she's far too dangerous in my opinion. But yeah, what's this vote on Wednesday of the court decision on the Rwanda policy will be interesting to see, the least, and see how Suella Braverman, the former Home Secretary, reacts to that and how the Conservatives react and respond. But interesting conversations to say the least, guys. So what did you make of some of those conversations? Are you surprised by them? Does it look like they're in a bit of a state of panic? Bear in mind, this is the Conservative Democratic Organisation. This is not a representation of all Conservative members or all Conservative MPs. It is a group of them that looks like has been pushed out from the looks of it. So let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. Hit that like button, would be greatly appreciated. Share across social media and hit that bell notification icon so you'll be notified of when I upload another video. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope to catch you all very, very soon.